Did I do it right? I'm not sure if I did it right. Hold on a second. I don't know what I got. I see a commercial. I'm looking at a commercial. Okay. All right. Please be patient with me if you are watching because I see a commercial. I got to figure out how to do this live thing. This is frustrating. Well, today, well, I don't know if anybody can hear me. Oh, skip, skip. Oh, oh, there I am. Okay. All right. Now I hear it. Now I see it. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Thank you for tuning in, for watching, and for your interest in the art and the drawings and the paintings and the the ideas, I guess. So I'm Papa. If you didn't already know that, the channel is called Papa Paints, and I've had an overwhelming amount of support lately, and I can't thank you enough for the support. I'm going to try to answer questions if you ask them in the text. And I'm going to try to answer questions that you've already sent me in the comments. So let me go over to that page on my computer and I try to pay attention to everything. There's so much to pay attention to here. All right, let's see. Somewhere I have your comments. Here we are. So let's start with the most recent one, Pizza Angel. Is that right? Pizza Angel, such beautiful art. I love it. Thank you so much. That is such a wonderful thing to tell me that. And I hope you're doing well. Dayan 8844, amazing talent. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. Stealth Ghost 827. I miss those greeting cards similar to Hallmark. I thought this was one of them. Love the painting. Oh, she's referring to a piece of art I did the other day. This one. See, I don't know what you see. How do I know what you see? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, that's what she's referring to is that painting I did the other day. This is my journal, by the way, that was sent to me by Deb. And I just started this journal like 4 days ago. The other journal I did, this one, that's like 46 pages. And that was, when I first started it. Yes, there's some of them. When I first started it, I had no idea that I was actually going to create a journal because I had never done a journal of any kind before. But what I like about the journals is that you get a chance to do small paintings that later on can become larger paintings. We love you from Iraq. Thank you so much, Iraq. Thank you so much. So beautiful. Yes, beautiful. Thank you and thank you. Okay, let me see some of these other responses and comments. Let's see. So thank you for that, Stealth Ghost and VOXV. This painting is beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh, that is referring to. Oh, I should have prepared myself better, but that's referring to the one I did yesterday. Yeah, I kind of like that one too. And that's the thing. Sometimes I like my own paintings and sometimes I don't. That's probably true for you guys too, right? With the paintings you do. All right, I'm going to try to keep up with all of you. Wow, there's so many things. No wonder people have helpers when they do these videos. I often wondered why doesn't somebody just do it themselves? So I wish I could draw like you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Some more comments. Did the live stream stop? Am I there? Am I still there? I don't know. All right, here we go. You are so talented. Thank you so much. That's from Van J. Van J. It's Van Jolly Fan. Too good from Mia Jablo. I love this from Mia Jablo. Wow, this is too good. Let me see if I can find some questions. This is incredibly beautiful. You really have a gift. I loved what you said at the beginning. It's so beautiful. Keep it up. And remember, you are great. I that is so sweet to say, but ooh, I'm not great. I'm here since I saw you on TikTok. Oh, the TikTok thing just blew me away. That was a gentleman named Ryan Coldy, and I don't know. I don't know what he did, but he got a lot of people to go to my channel. But thank you so much, Cameron Ninja. What a name, Cameron Ninja. That's a cool name. East African foodie. This is so beautiful, sir. You are so talented. I would love to paint like this someday. I hope you keep on making this type of videos. It is so relaxing amidst the crazy videos out there. Yeah, there's some crazy ones. Do you know, tomorrow, Robin and I are doing a presentation at our church. We're showing the books that I've illustrated and she's written. And we're talking about the process of doing that. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with the people who show up. But in going back to prepare for the event tomorrow, the artwork that I did like 11 years ago is like, wow, I don't know that I would have liked it today. So it does take a little while to get to the point where you're kind of happy. I'm still not happy with every painting. I don't really care for the one I did today. The one I did today was kind of, I don't know. It's pretty, I guess, but there it is. It's a little bit on the contrived side. Does that make sense? But anyway, maybe I'll like it next week. All right. What else do we have here? So sweet and calm. I needed this. Unknown Pepsi. Thank you. Shino Hara Garcia. Just give it a heart. Thank you. We love you, Papa. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I love this art that make here keep doing this. WDS Unseller. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Papa. I want to learn more about underpainting. What would happen if you don't do it? That is a great question. Okay, let's start with that one. I don't always do an underpainting. In fact, I never or very rarely do an underpainting in the journals and in the cards. Like when I did the cards, like yesterday we did a Valentine's card, and yeah, I don't usually do an underpainting. That's another card I did some time ago, maybe a month ago or so. But on the canvases, I usually do an underpainting. So the underpainting can either be similar to the painting that is going to be on there on the canvas, or it can be just a vast area of one or slightly varying colors. I like to use orange and brown. Seems like my thing for the underpainting. So the question is, what would happen if you don't do it? Well, nothing really. But I would suggest you give it a try. Do use a small canvas, and just give it a try. Put it in underpainting. If you're going to use watercolors, then use casein so that it won't reactivate. And if you're using acrylic, you can use acrylic as the underpainting. Or what I like to do is use gesso. I use this gesso right here. And that comes out white or clear. So I mix it with color. And it really helps. So what it does is when you paint over it, it sort of has, like if you're having a landscape which is mostly green and blue, you put orange underneath it, and it kind of makes it pop a little bit because a little bit of that orange does actually poke through. Not always though. I just came in and wonder, artist to artist, if there has been a painting or a piece of work that ever makes you stop and think that is difficult, like an art block, to best describe it. Absolutely. How do I answer that? A painting or a piece of work that ever makes you stop. Well, I think one of the things is when we do landscapes like freelance. And by the way, thank you. Is it Maple Lee? Am I saying your name right? Maple. Um, okay, so if you take the easel outdoors and you do a plein air painting, it's kind of right in front of you. What's really the best is to go out early in the morning and you get that golden early morning light, but it doesn't last long. Well, we have cameras. So a lot of times I'll take a picture when I do a plein air, couple of pictures, and then just kind of have them. I don't really look at them until like later. And then I use the actual landscape I'm looking at to paint what I'm looking at. And then I'll look back at the photograph after I get a little bit, kind of worked out onto the uh, canvas. Then I'll look at the photograph and I'll see, oh, this morning the sun was hitting it this way, and the color from the rising sun was a little bit more golden, and the shadows were a little bit more dappled, and then I'll kind of add those things to it. And I've done it for so long that sometimes I don't even need the photograph. I just know, because I've done it for so long. But um, and as far as the artist block, um, yes, absolutely, I get artist block. I don't know what to paint all the time. I think my default to go back to is always landscapes. I'll just look. Have you ever gone to unsplash.com? It's a website where photographers put pictures up there that you could use. Um, and so sometimes I use that. Awesome paintings. DT, thank you so much. How do you do the shading on watercolor? Oh my gosh. Okay. That is a great question. Watercolor. Well, obviously there's two types. There's the pan watercolor and there's the from the tube watercolor. So on pan watercolor, well, it's kind of the same technique, but just doing it two different ways. So let's say you have um, a walkway. I do this a lot. Let me see if I have an example. One of the pictures. Um, well, there's kind of an example right there. Can you see that? So there's shadows, and um, if the walkway is okay, let's say the grass is green. Okay, here's a great example. The grass is green. If you mix a little bit of red with it, it'll desaturate the green, and it'll make it a little less, almost muddy. You don't want to do it till it is muddy, but just a little bit. And you can experiment with it. Experiment off the canvas or off the paper. Experiment on a palette somewhere. Does that make sense? Or you can add a little bit of Payne's gray. Sometimes that works. I don't like to add black to make a shadowy color, but Payne's gray sometimes works, or a little bit of blue sometimes works, or sometimes if it's like a bright sunny pathway, a little bit of orange. So I would experiment. That's the best thing I can tell you. Papa, yes, Pops. You say it right. I thank you for answering. Love you from the Philippines. Oh, you're in the Philippines right now. I get excited to see you live while I'm studying for a test. Oh my gosh. You know, at the church that I go to, a lady sits with us, and she's from the Philippines. So is her husband. She and her husband and her daughter and her son, they all come to church. The father and mother mostly, but her name is Magdalena, and she's so sweet. So I know somebody from the Philippines. Let's see, Lucia Jaworska. Hi, I have a question. So if I paint on canvas and I Layer it with other paint. Oh, layer it with other paint. It kind of separates and looks bad. And I don't know if it is because I use different paints or are they expired. Oh, it could be both. Old paint. Yeah, don't try not to use old paint. Um, but probably I'm going to guess it's probably if you put over oil, that's going to be a problem. Usually, when you put oil over acrylic, you should put a barrier over it, some kind of well, like gesso, like I just showed, gesso or some kind of other barrier. What I would do, the best thing to do, is to go on YouTube and look up painting with more than one medium, like painting oil over acrylic or painting. Like I used to use, I'm not used to, I still do, gouache over watercolor. I used it just this morning. I kind of like doing that. It's really a nice way to do that. But the gouache and the watercolor paintings are really more for practice. The finished paintings, you probably always want to use oil or acrylic, with the exception of if you're illustrating a book, then you might want to use um, the gouache. Let me show you something. So this is my iPad, and I use the iPad a lot for illustrating the children's books. Those are some of them. Let's see. Let me show you if I can show you one. That was from a children's book. Let me see. Well, this is, well, that's not it. Well, this is the cover. This is the cover for a children's book that I did. Grandma's Music Box. Can you see that? Yeah, so I illustrated that, Grandma's Music Box, and I illustrated it here on the iPad. I don't know how many of you like to do digital art, but digital art works really wonderful. It's a really great way to work in a commercial setting because, like in that case, that's the pastor and his wife, so I know them. They wrote the book. But other times when I am hired by a publisher or an author, I'll do an illustration and then they'll want a revision. They'll want me to redo it or just change something. It's so much easier to make revisions and change things when it's digital. And the program I use is called Procreate. Procreate. Let me show you Procreate. Let me just open up the Procreate program. And there it is. Whoops. How do I get rid of that thing? There. It's called Procreate. That's the program right there. You see it? There's a lot of reflections from the window here. Yeah, so today is Wednesday. Robin is out shopping with her mom, and she'll be back soon. Okay. Thank you so much for the question. Let's see. The next one is: will you make playlists based on materials like watercolors, gouache, etc.? I haven't thought of making a playlist, but usually when I start a video, I do show you what I'm using. The longer paintings, the paintings that take longer, I take a long time to do them, so it's hard to videotape them, but I can do pieces. But usually the materials I use are across the board. So if I'm starting with an acrylic painting, I do the whole thing acrylic, or oil. I'll do the whole thing as oil. Let's see. Thank you for the question, Zana Kumova. Thank you. What brushes do you usually use on Procreate? Oh, on Procreate. Oh, gosh. That's a great question. If you don't know digital art, then you might not understand that question. But of course, I use the stylus, the Apple pen. And let me see. A lot of times I use the what is it called again? The dry brush. I use the dry brush. Let me show you an example. Um, Gosh, I have so many pieces on here that are actually. You know what else I can tell you? Also, this is good information. I think a lot of people have asked me about putting the pictures onto Fine Art America, which is how I sell the prints of my art. And the way I do that is also with Procreate. But let me show you. If I have a painting here, I did. Um, oh gosh, I have so many traditional paintings here. Um, okay, well this was an oil painting I did. Uh, this is an oil painting I did on Procreate using the dry brush. Can you see that? Pull it back here. There, can you see that? That's an oil painting I did on Procreate, and the dry brush is what I used throughout the whole thing, and you can tell that I intentionally tried to keep it looking painterly, like actual paint. Um, Sometimes with the smaller areas, like around the eyes, I will use the turpentine brush. I like the turpentine brush better than the oil brush. I think it's supposed to mimic thinned oil paint instead of straight out of the tube oil paint. But anyway, so that's what I do. Now for the children's book illustrations, I use either the it's gouache on the digital is different than gouache in real life, but I use the gouache brush. That was a great question. I don't usually get questions about the Procreate. Let's see. Uh, what brush is okay? Thank you for the question, Madalena Denise. Yes, I do use the dry brush mostly. That's the most common one. Jeanette York, I'm trying to learn iPad art, also Procreate. It's a challenge for me. Thanks for covering it. Really? That's awesome. Well, I should maybe demonstrate more on the channel. I use Here's the thing. When I make the Papa Paints videos, it's usually early in the morning before Robin wakes up, and I usually paint, small things like the cards, and if I have a larger assignment, then I squeeze that in somewhere. But if I have a book assignment, I'm usually out on the and take it anywhere, or I sit in my easy chair in the living room. I put the TV on and I work on the art, and sometimes it takes hours. It would be hard. I mean, I could do it on the pop-up paints. I'm going to make a note to myself to do that. Thank you for the question. Um, so Jeanette, yeah. Oh my gosh, you will just keep using Procreate. I promise you, you'll get better and better. You'll become more and more familiar with it. And all right, Jeanette, I'm going to make you a promise. I'm going to put some videos together that show how I use Procreate. Shael Bautista. Hello, Pops. About to head to bed here. Oh, okay. Sending love from the Philippines as well, alongside Maple. Well, good night. Good night and sleep tight. Good night and sleep tight. Don't know what that means, really. That's what people say. Good night and sleep tight. Awesome drawing. Thank you so much, Tesfa. Can we please see your art on Procreate? That's from AEI. Yes, I will do that. Do you like gouache better than watercolor? What is your favorite medium for art, including digital? Oh my gosh. That's from New Beginnings Art and Crafts. Hmm. You know, it depends. I did a large oil painting, 3 feet wide by 4 feet tall, a large painting of Jesus. for the church. And it was so satisfying to work big and to work with oil paint. So at that moment, oil paint was my favorite. I did a painting recently for a friend who just wanted a landscape of something he took a photo of. And I did that with acrylic, and it was 16 by 20, and he loved it. Um, Regarding, do I like gouache better than watercolor? Well, sometimes I use gouache as watercolor. You can water it down and it'll behave just like watercolor. But I do think I'm more of a gouache guy. Does that make sense? Let me explain that. I think there are some people out there who are so good at watercolor, and there's a watercolor look that I don't really go for. I'm not good at it. And some of those other artists are so good at it. So it's not that I don't like watercolor. I don't think I'm really good at watercolor. So I use gouache and watercolor kind of the same way I use acrylic and oil. I think all my paintings kind of have the same look to them. So, all right, let's see, some of my digital art. Let's see. I have my iPad right here. And we go to the gallery. If you're familiar with iPad, you know that the gallery. Before I do that, let me tell you this: that when I do paintings, like the cards, for example, I will photograph them, and then I will put them on Procreate, and then upload them to Fine Art America, and that's how I sell them. So let's say this Christmas card that I painted. Let me see if I can find it on here. But I'll take a photograph of it, and well, I don't know that I can find that exact one. But anyway, so here's a photograph of a watercolor and gouache painting that I did. Let me see if I can get rid of that. Just some lines on there. Oops. Okay, forget that one. That one went away. Okay, so the man sitting at the edge of the river, fishing. That one. That's a watercolor, but you see, it's on my Procreate, and the reason it's on my Procreate is because I wanted to put it on Fine Art America so people could buy the prints. And so here's the original. That's the original. And I took a photograph of it, put it onto my Procreate, and then I adjusted the resolution to 300 dpi. 300 dpi is really good for printing. And then I upload it to Fine Art America, which is also called Pixels.com, and I also upload it to Redbubble. And Redbubble, sells prints, and they sell all kinds of things. All right, so let me find some digital art on Procreate. Well, let's see. Well, there's one. A couple of dancers. Oops. Can you see that? You see that? So there's one. Whoops. Gotta erase the mistake. I just smudged my own painting. Come on. Okay. It's kind of awkward here. This is why people have help when they do these live videos. Let's see. New Beginnings Art and Crafts. Now another question. Do you have a favorite subject matter and why? By the way, this is Patty Polly. And yes, you are too good. You're gifted. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Oh, so you are also New Beginnings Art and Craft. That's awesome. Um, let me see if I can find one more. I'm having a hard time here. Okay, here's another painting I did digitally. Yeah, that was not done on paper. That was done right here on the iPad with Procreate. And I really kind of love doing impressionistic art, so it looks painterly. But again, when I do the children's books, that's not my approach. My approach is to make it look like a children's book. Although Robin and I are doing a book, and I don't want to tell you anything about it because I'm not supposed to. But but I think I'm going to use water for that book. All right, the question: do you have a favorite subject matter? Well, I like I love people. I love I love let me say that a different way. I love when a painting sort of seems to tell a story or makes the person looking at it wonder what's happening there. So maybe there is no story, but you in your own mind can make a story. With that said, I also love landscapes, which don't really tell a story. But usually, if there's a person in there, like the children dancing or the man sitting on a bench by himself, or those kind of paintings. I kind of like stories that happen. So I hope that answers the question. New Beginnings Art and Crafts. Is that a store? I mean, do you have like a storefront place? All right. Some of the other questions that were posted after the videos went up. Let's see if I can find one. Marcel said, "You make me cry." I wonder why. I don't mean to make you cry. That's such a cute teddy bear. Oh, I see. I tried doing hey, guess what? By the way, if this is working, then I figured out the problem. I'm using a microphone. Here's one from Janie Patrick. Oh, I love this so much. I never knew either of my grandfathers. They have both passed by the time I was born, but my mother's uncle came to live with us when he turned 100, having outlived 3 wives. Oh my gosh. He lived with us until he passed after his 113th birthday, and he loved going fishing. Oh, she's responding to the picture I did yesterday with the man. I forgot to put a fishing pole in that picture. The whole family would go, all 9 of us crammed into a station wagon. A mom, dad, a grandma, uncle, and 5 kids. He would sit from sunup to sundown with his old gray felt hat and cane pole. Oh, I love that. One of my favorite memories of this precious old soul. I really love this. Thank you so much. Isn't I love that you do a painting and it reminds somebody of something. When I have visited people in the hospital, I've often noticed that the paintings on the wall in the hospital are they're usually beautiful landscapes, and you can get lost in them just looking at them. Um, there's so many comments. Someone wrote, "I've been having a rough voice, and painting gave me peace and just kindness. Thank you so much." That's from Gina Cervantes. She posted that yesterday. Wow, that's so nice to hear that. Um, so I feel like a kid watching Bob Ross again. Oh no, really? I went to Bob Ross's grave with Robin. We went there, and um, let's see if I can get some more questions in here. Um, Robin and I went to see Bob Ross's gravesite. Oh, there's my questions. And it felt like I got to know him. I never met him in person, and I only knew him as a celebrity TV star artist. But when we stood at his grave and kind of talked to his headstone, do you guys do that? We said, "Hey, thanks for everything you did." We left him a couple of stones that we painted, but afterwards, it felt like I had actually met him. Isn't that weird? Um, It was a good experience. He's not buried. I almost said he doesn't live far from here, but he's buried not that far from here. Let's see. Zita, hey, sadly I can't watch the live, but I wanted to wish you good night. Thank you so much, Zita. Do you have any other hobbies? I play music. I play the accordion. So every month, the first Friday of each month, they have something in our town called the Art Walk. And we don't show our art, which is what it's for. It's for artists to show their art. But I like playing the accordion. I know that sounds funny. And Robin plays the mandolin. So the two of us, we sit out there and we just play. We sit outside of a chocolate shop. It's just so good. I saw this thing on YouTube. I saw somebody took some sidewalk chalk and they drew a big square on the sidewalk, and they wrote the words "Dance Here." So next month, the first Friday of March, we're going to do the first Friday art walk, and I'm going to put a square in front of us on the sidewalk, and it's going to say "Dance Here." And I hope that people do it. It's going to be fun. All right, let's see. Thank you for the question, AEI. Maple Lee, please drink some water and take some breaks or a breather whenever you get a chance throughout the stream. These things can come off overwhelming at times, so don't ever worry about us, Papa. Oh, thank you. I actually have a cup here. And you're right. You're right. It's coffee, though. Can you see it? It's cold coffee. Zana Kumova, you do resemble like our YouTube Bob Ross. Oh, yeah. Do I? Your videos are very warm and inviting. It's very relaxing to listen to. Thank you so much. Do you have TikTok? Okay. I don't have TikTok. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if the government said I can't have TikTok, but I can't. Every time I go to get it, it says it's not permitted in my area, whatever that means. In Florida, do you guys know? I asked Robin and she didn't know. So, but I know that a lot of you came to this channel from TikTok, and it was from a gentleman named Ryan Coldy. I think that's his name, but he did an unbelievable job of spreading the word about the channel. Let's see. I don't have TikTok. That was from T-Bob. Oh, I can't read your name. I don't know how to read that alphabet. New Beginnings, Art and Crafts. Not a store. Oh, you're not a store. Okay. YouTube and Facebook art page with my sister. I am the gal who lost her son a year. Oh, my parents before that, and God brought me to art. But I was feeling list. You know, I did look at some of your videos, and I said a prayer for you, and I continue to feel for you. And oh my gosh, and you guys are fun. By the videos I watched, you guys are very enjoyable to watch. Yes, you can on here. I don't know if you can spread the word about your channel by posting it on here or not, but feel free to do that. That's not going to bother me. But yes, they'll be fun to watch. God brought art to me in order to heal and cope. Yeah, I believe that. Oh, Theodore, that's your name. Theodore, thank you. In Macedonian. Okay. Yeah. I'm not really good with foreign languages. I don't know many of them. How long have you played the accordion? Well, I started when I was 8. So what am I now? I'm 70 now. So that means 62 years. But I've never been really professional at it. I played from about 8 years old until I was 20. And then I kind of stopped. And then maybe around 55, I started thinking I wish I had an accordion. And I found a store down in St. Petersburg. Clearwater, actually, near St. Pete. And Robin and I went down there, and they had this old accordion, and I bought it, and it's beautiful. I still have it. It's just wonderful. Any more questions? I guess I can wrap it up if you don't have any more questions. I will. I want to thank you all for stopping by and saying hi and having questions, and thank you for the suggestion to do some Procreate demonstrations. That's a really good idea. I love Procreate, and I didn't know how well it would go over with a viewing audience, and so I will do that too. It is really the tool I use the most when illustrating books. I was looking to see if I had any of the books. No, they're not in here. But anyway, what languages do you speak? I speak English. I can say hello. I can say good morning, bonjour, buenos dias. It's very limited. Oh, you used to live in Tampa and Zephyr Hills? I'm in Tampa a lot. I go to Tampa all the time. So thank you for being there. Thank you, Jenny. Oh, Jenny, I've seen your name before. Absolutely. Used to live in Tampa and Zephyr Hills as a kid. I'm trying to think, where is Zephyr Hills? That must be, is that near Tampa somewhere? I know I've heard the name. I just don't know. All right. This was kind of an experiment. I didn't know how this was going to go. Thank you all for watching. If you're an artist, keep on doing art. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, I think you can ask them after I do this, and I'll type in the answers. I try to type the answers on the YouTube channel. So, all right, I'm going to end the stream now. I see a button right there. Right there. Can you see where I'm pointing? Right there. There's a button that says end stream. So I'm going to do that. You guys take care. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later.